What up, YouTube land? It's Justin Nickel here with the WFT Show. Thank you so much for joining us on this special Friday edition of the WFT Show. And ladies and gentlemen, he's back. My favorite human in the world besides my entire family, Jeremy Baker.
That's me.
Jeremy.
I'm back.
How are you, man? How are you?
Feel good. I've been I took the month of June off to just hang out and not do takes.
Yeah, you know what? When people say they take a month off, they don't really. They end up doing stuff and whatever. You took the month off like a boss. You didn't do nothing. You were off social media. You spent time with your kids. I saw the hiking pics. I love it. There's one thing to dad, but there's nothing to hike with your kids. That's dadding to another level. That's like Grand Wizard dadding. So it was great to see. And how did it feel? How did it feel to take the time off?
It was awesome. I loved it. Now that I went, but today was my first day back at work, and I was like, man, the Friday after the long weekend or whatever the holiday was my first day back to work. But I'm a little bit kind of chomping to get back at it now, so it was good. And then the only stuff I did was I did the comedy brawl on Wednesday.
Yes.
And that felt so good. I was like, okay, I'm ready to go back to work. And I did Peter Grant, who's been on this show. You've been on this podcast, Access Granted.
Yeah. Yeah.
In their tiny little apartment studio there in North Vancouver. You're talking about
beautiful apartment. Totally.
It's awesome. It's just like the size of it's like a large tent. Would you say it's probably like a large tent?
Totally up to code as well, too. That's
totally up to code. Apartment. Yeah, very modern apartment. Yeah. And so I did his podcast, Access Granted.
Great. And you said you're back to work now, but so you have a new job. Big announcement.
Yep. Started. I got a job at the Peak, so I was on the radio on CFox for a bunch of years, and then I got a job on the Peak. But there was a little bit of one contract ended, but the next one didn't start. That's how I ended up with a month. And I was like, you know what? I've been doing, yelling goofy, silly takes on the radio on the internet since 1998. I'm gonna stop for 1 month.
Yeah, man. Well, that's awesome, dude. We're super stoked to have you back. And it's beautiful because we have an amazing show with some banger stories this week.
Really weird stories.
But first, we got to say what up to our producer, our voice of God, the man who's back behind the clouds, Mr. Mark B. Mark, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm so happy to be back behind the curtain with all this stuff.
We put the wizard back behind the curtain.
Oh, yeah. It's such a relief. It's such a relief to me. And I want to say hello to everybody in the chat that I see. We got a boy JR there. We got Pyra there. We got Justin Nick. Oh, no, that's you. We got James. We got James there. We got a bunch of people watching us right now. So remember, guys, like this stream. Hit like. Subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed yet. And comment.
Yes.
Oh, and Jess.
Jay was on the Comedy Brawl. You should shout out Jay's performance.
I was just going to say, JR was a standout. He had a tough matchup, unfortunately. That's dems the breaks on the Comedy Brawl. Dems the breaks. But you know what? Much improved. If we had a most improved comedian over the pandemic, I would say it's JR by far. And you know what? We'll have him back. We're happy to have him back. Just got to get him in the rotation. And shout out to my beautiful wife, the head moderator. She posted on Facebook today to let everyone know she is the head moderator. She is serious about this.
She is.
And she's taking her role seriously. So we got a lot of fun stuff. I'm hoping that the chat will get out of hand again because that's a lot of fun when that happens. And we got a little special guest for you tonight that we'll bring in a couple minutes. And we want to interview him because this was a big night. Maybe not like big and as in good, but it was still a big night for him. You know what I mean?
Right. Can we talk to our special guest in a sec? I think we should just go over Comedy Brawl Wednesday night. First one back in 8 months?
8-9 months, yeah.
9 months. So and Jay got to the second round, which is pretty decent for Comedy Brawl. There's only 4 rounds, so you get the second and third. We had friends of the show. Peter Grant was on the bill. Yep. Robert Pang was on the bill.
Sean McDonald.
So a bunch of guys that have been on this podcast.
Yep, and then one girl entered and one girl exited as the champion, Amber Harper Young. Congratulations to Amber Harper Young. Amber, if you're watching, probably you are. I will send you the money on the e-transfer as soon as this podcast is done.
The money is in the mail.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the check to clear. But we had a great time. It was sold out.
Amber crushed. I mean, Amber went up against Sam Tawney, right, at the end?
Yes.
Has Sam won before?
No, he hasn't, but he's been on twice before, and
he's
made it deep every single time.
Yeah, then he's gone to the final before.
Yes, and he's all over the place. You look on any show, he's on almost every single one. So Amber with a well-deserved victory. It was tons of fun. Again, sold out. That was our third or fourth Comedy Brawl in a row that was sold out. And we're just going to keep getting better and better and bigger and bigger. And I'm going to have some merch for you guys coming up soon, and a new belt for the champion. It's going to be great. We got a lot of.
Do we know anything about July then? So July is the last one before Champions Night in August.
Yes, so July.
So July is going to be nuts because it's the final chance to punch your ticket. But then August should be like one of the most all-time comedy brawls ever.
Oh yeah, and we got got a huge prize for the winner on that one. It's going to be epic. So please keep your eyes open for that. Buy some tickets, and we'll keep you informed on all of those lovely comings and goings. Without further ado, Mark, if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's bring in our special.
I'm here. I'm not going nowhere.
Let's bring in our special guest. His name is Ty Boissonneau. Did I do that right?
Nope, you didn't.
Well, he's gonna explain to me how to pronounce his 11-letter fucking eye chart of a name when he comes in here, so we can work on that. How about that?
Well, here he is, Mr. Tyler Boissonneau joins us on the show.
Oh, I get to be the audience, so I clap.
All right, Ty. Hi. Just wanted to go over the post game with you here, and just want to say, tough game. First question: how does it feel to know that your team has no chance of winning?
Écoute-moi, you anglophone, maintenant, okay? Listen, if I had to say something, I would quote Georges St-Pierre, right? I'm not impressed by our performance, okay? Holy shit. What happened? Oh, man. Yeah, it's not going to be good. The great thing about this is that in all professional sports, they won't allow a sweep in the finals. So they'll let us win tomorrow. They'll make some more money down in Tampa. Then we're going to win there, and then it'll be fine.
Right.
I heard. So Ty, right? Like you react to sports. This is what you do on your podcast. Have you been on that one, Justin? With Ty?
We did the Rusty Cages. We did a live stream of the most boring UFC event in history. It was fun.
Oh no, you got the boring thing. So Ty reacts to this stuff, which is awesome. Now, Ty, you're being hard on your team. The fact you guys are even in the Cup final when Montreal should barely even be in the NHL anymore, that's impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's
like
really the only
Vancouverite. I love it. I hate everybody.
I think the worst is everyone's still chirping you while you're in the Cup final and we're all watching.
You're gonna get fucking sweat.
You're
gonna get fucking sweat. I'm like, you're from Winnipeg. What are we talking about? Why is this a thing? This is the first year I remember everyone was like, fuck Canada's team. We're not doing that. Like,
was that the first year?
No, that was not the first year.
Oh, really?
That was not the first year.
Ty was too busy doing meth or heroin in 2010 to remember what happened with
Tyler must have been 8 years old in 2011 when Canada was like, no Boston.
Speaking of meth, our PCP, what does their goaltender smoke? Did you see the close-up on his eyes?
Yes.
They go over to Carey Price, and he just looks like literally Bergevin looks like Lebowski, and then fucking it's like Price is just one of his friends. He's just like a stoner in net, super lackadaisical, letting everything in this evening. Yeah. And then it pans over to Tampa Bay's goaltender, and motherfucker's just like ready, roll.
What about Vasilevsky, though, trying to stop that Perry goal with his face? There was like this much space between his head and the goal. Perry puts the puck like right there, but Vasilevsky, sorry, I got my Invisalign in. I can't talk. That guy who plays goal for Tampa Bay, he's still trying to he's still trying to block it.
At one point, he just soccer kicked like the puck out of the net, and it was like they don't even care. Like he's just using his feet. It was just the worst.
Jesus is the one playing NHL 2021 and he's just like, let me put in the code.
The teenage girl version of Carey Price showed up. He's like, nah, I'm in a car. I'm so over this right now. It's so hot. It's so fucking hot. I'm in a car. But let me ask you this, man, because when you look at Tampa Bay, right, and they have the best offense in the league, $18 million over the cap when
How is that a thing? I've heard that a few other times. Other people are like, how is Tampa over how are they over the cap?
Because they have injured players who come off injured reserve
Oh,
in time
during
for
the playoffs.
Right,
No.
Kucherov makes like $9 million a year, and then they have like 2 other guys. But
I hope Benny's taking notes there where he's just like,
no
Ederson, injured, whatever.
yeah, injure them at the trade deadline, get a bunch of players, then reactivate them at the fucking.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I've heard that. I didn't know how, but thank you.
Yeah,
It's always the case, though. It's especially always the case with the NHL, where it's like, okay, we make all these fucking rules for caps and all this stuff, and then like by the time the playoffs come, everyone's like, yeah.
I think the other cool thing about these rules about the cap is like Tampa Bay taking advantage of it. They give them the Stanley Cup. The Vancouver Canucks take advantage of a cap loophole, and they are still charging them for Roberto Luongo to this day.
Who's retired and also in the front office of the Florida Panthers. Okay, he's running for mayor, I think, and now
Playing
he's
there.
paying for him.
And I love Luongo. I'm not mad at him, but I just think it's funny that the NHL's way that they interpret loopholes in their collective bargaining agreement, they interpret it different for different teams.
All right. So next question for Ty. Ty, I'm just wondering if you know what the word "la balai" means in French. It means, I think it means broom. Have you got your broom ready for tomorrow? Just wondering.
I still have it from Winnipeg, so yeah. I still have it around. I never put it away. I didn't put it back in the closet, huh?
Well, that's
I opened the closet to get my broom, and there it was, gone.
Oh,
he's gonna need a mop for this next game, I think. Okay, Ty, serious question: Who's your favorite Canadian right now?
Currently right now,
right now, who's just changing your life?
Nick Suzuki. I love that kid.
Oh, yeah.
Beauty. That whole like the Caulfield, Suzuki Kotkaniemi. It's like, you always like to see
they're all
future players. They're all fantastic. Yeah, and Suzuki's for sure. I just would like to see him. I don't know. I would like to see him stick around for a while. And Philip Deneau. I love Philip Deneau. I feel like he just can never leave the Habs because of his last name, and he's like, I think he just interprets for half of the team, so he just cannot leave.
Can anyone hear the heartbreak in Ty's voice right now? He's just like, yeah, I guess fucking Suzuki, man. Like, what do you want me to say right now? We're 3-0. It's 3-0 right now, dude. Like,
for me, it's like, yeah, obviously it's not going well. Statistically, they probably won't win the cup. But I mean, like, I'm honestly like, the fact that Montreal is there is incredible.
Right.
It's unbelievable. I feel like I was super stoked for the celebration after we beat Vegas, but there was like a point where I was like, whoa, calm down now with the confetti and the fucking and the fireworks and the hat. Yeah.
Question, Ty. Does it feel weird to you as a fan to watch that only 3,500 fans are allowed in the building and 70,000 fans are shoulder to shoulder outside the building?
I wanted to say, I was like, does Montreal even care about hockey? The arena looked empty.
Yeah. $30,000 a ticket. $30,000 a ticket.
Yeah, there was like the cheapest was like like 1,500 or something like that, and went all the way up to 30. This is insane. It was cheaper. I saw like people, because I'm part of like some like Habs groups and stuff like that on social media, and it was cheaper for people to go down to Florida, like just fly, they just flew to Florida.
14-week quarantine, and they're like, that's cheaper. I'll take 2 weeks
off
off work.
Yeah, exactly.
You could take your whole family on a 2-week trip to Tampa, buy tickets in a suite and a hotel, and go for dinner every night.
And go to Disney World.
All right,
go
Ty, any final words of encouragement to the team? Like, what would you say right now? Ty comes in the room, Game 4, Habs need a pump up. They need any given Sunday moment.
Yeah.
What does Ty
give
say
it to us? Friday Night Lights, Coach Taylor. Coach Ty.
I'm ready to go. I'm putting my eye black on. I want to hear what you got to say.
I'm ready to go.
I go straight Reggie Dunlop on them, and I go, put on the fucking foil, boys. It's time to go. Yeah.
I think I would go like the owner, and I'd be like, we're losing.
I love it. Hey, Ty, man, this has been great, dude. Thanks for your time, and thanks for putting on that jersey in the middle of a heat wave in the heat dome. That shows a lot of commitment. We love you to death, dude.
Well, I might not be able to wear it for much longer, so let's get all the mileage we can.
Before Ty goes, Justin, you guys got a show together coming up.
We got a show to-
Lucky Luke? No. What's it called? Tiny
Lana Lose, July 3rd. I think there's like an open mic beforehand, but then Justin's
tomorrow
hosting it at 9 p.m. That's going to be good. And then I'm also going to be I'm just going to look at my calendar here, at House of Comedy. I'll do the Pro-Am on the 13th and also the Comedy Brawl on the 28th.
Yeah.
So I'm
Awesome.
super stoked. Yeah.
And then your
my boy.
podcast, once again, where you talk sports. You react not only to hockey, but also combat sports, right?
Yeah, we're going to have a good one coming up. There's that Conor McGregor fight's coming up this month. Dustin
Oh,
Poirier.
that Conor. I'm
Conor
going to
McGregor.
watch that one. Because like, he's such a character.
Yeah,
Who's
he's
such a
your,
character. Do you love him, Ty, or do you hate him?
I don't hate him. I think he's changed the game in a lot of ways, and I think he's done a lot of positive things. At least, like, some people are getting paid. Like, at least, like that. The fact that amount can be succeeded now in MMA is cool. All the other shit, like whatever. But I think Poirier's got this.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it's like when he punches out old people in bars, but that's me.
Listen,
I just
Yeah.
Connor is a billionaire now. Okay, he can only fight billionaires, so he is the
It's-
heavyweight champ of billionaires. That's what it
It's
is.
Oh, are we
Yeah,
putting him on Billionaire
exactly.
Beat? In the future, when we talk Connor, Billionaire Beat.
Yeah. All right, Ty. Thanks so much, brother, and we'll have you back on soon. And I can't.
Thanks,
wait to get
Ty.
invited back.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. The show kicks ass. Like and subscribe, people, if you don't already. And I will see you in the chat shortly.
Awesome, buddy. Cheers, cheers.
Bye.
Oh, peace.
Don't leave till Mark says.
Oh,
you
wait.
can.
Mark-
All right,
And
we're
we're
back.
And we are back. Yeah.
And we're back.
All right, little transition stuff going on with when Ty takes off. We're back. Thank you for holding up. We're gonna get the chat fired up right now with our first story. Mark, do you have the story up?
We do. We do have the first story up, gentlemen. So this is a good news story. It looks like in Japan this week, there was a sex doll rescued from the river after being mistaken for a dead woman.
Did the sex doll survive? This story is wild. So like an influencer is at some river in Japan. She's there to film a fishing video.
Yeah.
And she has like a food and fishing and whatever Instagram account. And she's sitting there and she's like, "Oh, that looks like a woman's body floating down the river." And she still was sort of like, "That's a little weird or crazy or whatever." And then another influencer is there as well, or YouTuber or something, and she's like, "No, that looks like a dead body." And so they call the police. The police thought it was a real woman, and they go in there to rescue her and discover it was a discarded sex doll.
Yeah. Well, look here's and yeah, it costing thousands of dollars. This isn't the first time it's happening. It's actually becoming more and more common. And
Yes.
I have a theory, and this is my theory. I think disposing of a sex doll is the exact same way that you would dispose of a real dead body.
Yes, like that.
Think about it.
That's why I think the people phoned up. They're like, "Oh, this going down the river. That is like a movie."
Yes. No, it's because, think about it. You'd have to dispose of them at night
Hey,
because you'd be embarrassed.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Justin, you're kind of like vertically oriented
Oh,
there.
there he is. He's back
I
now.
gotta fix this.
Yeah, and
I
so
love it.
in Japan, they believe these dolls have a soul. It's a bad luck to just let them float down the river.
It is,
And
and
in Japan, when you are done with your doll, they have a funeral service that starts at $400.
man,
Okay.
You get a commemorative video so you can
Oh my
remember the
God.
time.
Oh my
That's
God.
real. I mean, it's near the bottom of the article. It's out of control. I was like, whoa.
Oh my
And then in the
God.
article, they said, like, this is not even the first time it's happened. Authorities in the past have had, one time they found a doll and they put a blanket over the doll. They didn't even check that it was a person at first. They put a blanket over the doll and they waited for the coroner to show up. The coroner pulls up the blanket and is like, this is the Keystone Cops. What are you guys doing? This is a doll.
Yeah, no, everything was fine with the doll except the crotch was rubbed out like the back of a pencil on a number 2 pencil eraser on a number 2 pencil. And then that's when you have to throw the doll out, right? And you can't just drag your sex doll to the fucking garbage bin. You know what I mean? You're too embarrassed. It looks like you killed somebody.
You
So
have a little bit of class.
Yeah, you roll it up in a carpet and you dump it over the bridge at midnight. That's
Yeah,
what you
that
gotta
will
do.
not be questionable at all. No one's going to stop at the side of the road and be like, "What are you doing, Gary?"
What we need is a skin-colored recycling bin for these sex dolls, so people
Yeah.
can just do it in no shame, right?
No
Just go
shame.
recycle them and get it maybe on a subscription membership kind of list, and then
Well,
you re-up
that's
every
why
year.
you get the funeral service, because they then dispose of it appropriately for $400.
$400 a year. That seems fair.
That seems fair. All right, what do we got next there, voice of God, Mark?
well, there was another part of the story that I found a little bit weird because
Oh, there was one part you found weird?
yeah, I mean everything so far has been very, very mundane. But Natsuki, who was the person that took the picture, said, while I was filming for my fishing video, I thought that a corpse had come floating by, but it turned out to be a Dutch wife. A Dutch
Oh,
wife.
yeah, they call it a Dutch wife.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure what's going on.
That's got to be problematic.
A little bit. I'm not sure why in
Are
Japan.
you scroll to the picture, though? It's creepy as hell.
Yeah, it is very, very creepy.
Look at that. Can people see that? Is it too small? I don't know, but like, look at it.
I mean, it's like a Twitter.
I like how the first person was like, "Is that a woman floating down?" I'm like, "That looks like a woman floating down the river." Like, I'm sorry. Like, maybe we should call the cops. At that point, if I saw that picture, I'm calling the cops.
Oh yeah, for sure. So who knows what a Dutch wife is? But let's.
It's a sex doll. It's like a weird Japanese
Wait.
slang for a sex doll.
One thing: is it possible we have a sex doll serial killer out there?
It's very possible.
Very possible. Save that for conspiracy fact later in the
There
show.
you go.
All right. All right.
All right.
Can we check out the chat for a second? We got some good,
Sure,
good
absolutely,
stuff in the chat.
absolutely.
First off, JR Comedy said we've won a cup recently, so that resents the difference. He's talking about the Washington Capitals. I guess I said the Canucks in 2010, so James wanted to correct me and say it was 2011, but it's the 2010-11 season, so that's what I meant by that.
You know
James,
what?
thank you.
It's ancient history. Sometimes when people are like, the Canucks were in the Cup final 10 years ago, it's just that ages me. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, just terrible. And then JR says, fix your phone, Justin. You're sideways, calling me an idiot, basically. JR says he uses sex dolls to use the HOV lane. We know what that means, Jay. Yeah, just the HOV lane, Jay.
HOV lane. Okay, should say Jay. What was
Jay
Jay's
says-
joke the other day where he was like, I'm bisexual too, and everyone booed him, and he's like, no, I buy my sex. But I like how everyone booed him at first when he's like, I'm bisexual. Like after the first comic had a big story about bisexuality that was, heartfelt and honest. And then Jay's like, I'm bisexual too. And everyone booed him.
Wow, that's rough.
Well,
That is rough.
yeah.
But then he was like, no, I buy sex. And then everyone laughed and cheered.
yeah. Pyra says in the chat, he imagined that the sex doll cheated with his brother and had to kick her to the curb. I love how Pyra puts a whole backstory to it. That makes it even sexier.
Yeah, I can't wait to go on Pyra's blog and read her fan fiction for this Dutch wife.
No, and then Pyra says, here I thought Dutch wife meant a woman in lingerie standing in a window. No, Dutch wife is a wife who farts under the covers and then makes you smell her farts. That's what that means.
Yeah, that's a Dutch. Oh, you get your
All right.
Dutch slang all wrong.
All right, we're caught up in chat, Marky Mark. We're caught up in chat.
Alrighty, next story, boys. So we've had kind of a rough couple of days. I don't know about you guys, but I've had a rough couple of days with the heat that's been going
Yeah.
on.
Oh, we're on Heat Dome now.
Yeah, so now we had a heat dome. I guess last week at the end of and over the weekend we had
End of the weekend, start of this week was that?
yeah, just a crazy heat dome, and now it's actually over Manitoba. It is a heat dome, something that's traveling across the country apparently.
Yeah, apparently it's sponsored by DARPA. And I'm just telling you right now, unprecedented. We were as hot as New Delhi at some points in parts of BC, apparently.
Yeah,
In the
when
50s.
India, like India's already hot, right? When India has a heat wave that makes the news, it gets into the 50s, and Lytton, BC got to like 49.8.
Yeah, and now Lytton, BC is no longer,
And then burned down. Like, it's just so out of control.
It's out of control. It's scary, and it's like maybe I should recycle my plastics. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like,
I thought I was doing a good job sorting my recycling. I'm going to do a better job going forward.
Was there?
Hey, so how did you survive it with your kids, Justin?
An air conditioner and a prayer, Jamie. An air conditioner and a prayer.
But you guys did have like a room one or something, or what?
Yeah, we all just kind of huddled around the air conditioner like it was a sarcophagus, like we were just praying to the air conditioning gods, right? And a lot of in-house bickering. There was tensions were high. Like
a lot of bickering.
Yeah. Like you ever it's so hot outside and you're like, why are you looking like that?
And here's the thing: you weren't just doing that with your wife; you did it with every person in the community.
Yes,
like if you left the house, everyone was just bickering. Like, why are you wearing that shirt? And you're like, because I work here.
Yeah, it was a hot one.
I'm the clerk at the grocery store.
They make me wear this.
They make me wear it. Why are you wearing that shirt, loser? I was like, oh man.
Dude, who I felt the worst for was people who worked at McDonald's, because I went in there for an iced coffee and they said right off the bat, limit of 10 iced coffees per car. So think about that for a second. That means that there was enough people ordering more than 10 iced coffees at a time. They were like, okay, we can't fucking do this. You're killing us. You're fucking killing us. My wife,
Cora, went to Starbucks one time, right on the door, no Frappuccinos. Just go away.
Yeah.
So my wife and I tried to go out for dinner on the Monday or the Sunday. And we had to go to like 3 or 4 they were all lined up out the door.
Wow. Pyra says it peaked at 108 degrees Fahrenheit at her house in Cowichan Valley on Monday afternoon. I don't know if that is.
Wow.
What's 108 in Celsius? Like 40
that's between 35 and 40, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy. So shout out to all my McDonald's employees. It was like the front lines over there. Hope you survived it. And you know what? With all the other stuff, speaking of heat dome, I was watching. Mark showed me that the ocean was on fire today. It looked like
it sure was.
Looked like
we have
scene
a picture of that, Mark.
Yeah, let me pull that up. I mean, it looks.
This was just one of those stories. Of course, it goes viral with what's going on in the world, right? Like we just are, we barely started high fiving the end of the pandemic. Like barely started doing that. Heat dome, of course, everything going on in the news with residential schools. Like we're all just living this together, like right now. And then on top of all that, today everyone's like, oh, now the ocean is on fire. You have this is I don't know if you can see this in the picture. So this is the ocean on fire. Okay, water is on fire, and there are fire boats bringing water on the water.
I don't know what they're trying to do. What are they trying to do? They're trying to make it worse. Fine. The water's already on fire. Don't
you should have just put some water wings on me, jump me in the ocean, and I'd been splashed in the fire.
Yeah, please don't put more water on the water fire. Like, isn't that just basic?
I guess I'm like, what are you hoping to do? I guess it was a gas line bursted or something. This is I guess it's in the Mexico area of the Gulf of Mexico, but it's I mean, aside from the apocalyptic undercurrents of this story, it's kind of a neat looking picture.
Kind of a neat, end of days looking picture.
Yeah.
It looks like that's the fucking entrance to hell.
Right? Like Mad Max is about the apocalypse, but it was a beautiful looking film.
Well, the shot that I have up now looks literally like a cutscene from like a Call of Duty game or something. That's really what it looks like. Like this is like the thing that sets off the conflict. It's completely nuts. Like the water is literally on fire.
That's where the final boss of Final Fantasy 116 comes out of, and you have to fight it, and it's 900 fucking feet tall.
I'm the fire ocean demon, and you're like, what?
Exclusively on Xbox.
No. What was that Disney movie we watched where it's a fire demon comes out of the water? Moana.
I don't know.
It looks like the Moana demon.
Listen, I don't know, but we now have the plot line for the next Sharknado movie. All right. Didn't you want to add to this, Mark? Didn't you have a conspiracy fact to add to this?
I did
Oh
have.
yeah, we need the conspiracy facts on this one.
Yeah, kind of an Insta conspiracy fact. Have you guys ever heard of HAARP? HAARP. So just
No.
I feel like I've seen it probably. What is it?
yeah, so this is an array of antenna that are placed in Alaska right now.
Okay.
That basically the only thing that they want to do is to manipulate the ionosphere. So they send massive amounts of energy up there, and some believe that they're able to control the weather with HAARP. Some believe
Here
really
we
that.
go.
So, and you know, we have a heat wave here in Canada. You know, we have the dome kind of traveling through the country, but there have been all of these really irregular weather events going on all over the world, in China, everywhere. So I don't know. I mean, apparently, I heard that they turned HAARP on for a test recently. Does it have anything to do with the heat dome?
That's some Dr. Evil shit. Like in the United
Yeah.
States, Joe Biden sitting there being like, "Oh, I'm going to demonstrate the awesome might of the United States military. Light the ocean on fire.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Give me $1 million."
That's hilarious. What's that animated series? The Minions. What's that one?
Oh, man, yeah, Gru.
With Groot. What's the other one? No, not the Minions one, but the one that
The
started.
Despicable Me.
Despicable Me, where they're gonna steal the moon. Like that's what's happening next. We're gonna steal the fucking moon, and then the ocean
We
lights
will
on
light the ocean on fire.
So fucking crazy, man. So crazy. But you know what? Not out of the realm of possibility.
Not out of the realm of possibility. Well, you know what? I like that, Mark. That one's going in conspiracy fact.
Yes.
Oh, HAARP is a
Cons-
real thing. It's an
Oh,
absolutely
no,
real
I don't
thing.
doubt HAARP is real. Did the United States military light the ocean on fire? Probably.
Probably. I mean, it's,
That's going to get a shadow banned,
Yeah.
Now we've
I think,
got
yeah.
shadow banned.
Oh, we're
again.
hold on. I just got an email from YouTube. We're demonetized again.
Demonetized.
Demonetized.
Also,
Every
Justin is for
show.
some reason-
That was so
So
close.
that's why Mark hasn't sent me my royalty check yet.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Every time.
You keep saying, "Oh, we got demonetized again."
We're in the
All
red.
right, what is this flying car next up?
Yeah. So this next story, gentlemen, it's we're human beings are reaching the new frontier with these cars. So a prototype flying car completes its first flight between airports. So a real a car that drove on the ground and then flew in the air and flew from one airport to the other. It's possible
When
now.
Justin sent this story, all he wrote, the only caption Justin wrote was, "Oh, this will end well." Like Justin just sent the story with that text, and I was like, "Well, that's going in the show.
Yeah. What could fucking possibly go wrong?
This will be
Listen,
fine."
I drive for a living, okay, in the daytime, and I see the craziest stuff. In fact, today I almost got completely taken out by a truck driver, a 53-foot tractor trailer, and we're on the ground, only going 60 kilometers an hour. We're going to put idiots who are TikToking while they drive in the air? Dude! So
We have people
TikToking.
putting cars that don't have autopilot on autopilot and crashing. So this is going to be great.
That's awesome. So
You know
do
what was
need a
cool? Though?
pilot's
This,
license?
this car is out of control because it has wings that fold out. It legit is a car that can fly, which is cool. It needs a runway, doesn't hover and stuff. They had one aviation expert in the article say, right, he was like, "Look, man, I'm psyched. This car looks cool. I believe it. I believe it's the future." He's like, "They do need to demonstrate it can fly for 1 million hours before it will be
Shut
sold
up.
to the public."
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like to
Dude.
get certified, because you can't just sell airplanes to morons, right?
If you believe in the conspiracy of the globalists trying to thin the herd, this is one of the things that they would
This is forget
100%.
COVID. This will be way more efficient.
Dude, you're gonna have to get homeowners, like you're gonna get new insurance on your house. It's gonna be called flying car insurance to make sure that no one comes fucking through your roof. And you're like, what happened? Oh, what happened is he's not a pilot. That's what happened.
Oh, dude, you are so right about the insurance. We're
Yeah.
all like, I will not own a flying car, but I'm gonna have to have flying car insurance. Like, even without owning one, I will get no benefit of the flying car, but I'm gonna have to pay a corporation $500 a year to have flying car insurance just in case I get crashed into.
Yeah, and you're spending so much money on it, you're now kind of hoping that it hits your garage or something.
Yeah, Mike, I could use a little payout. If you can land on my leg,
You start
one
paint-
of my legs, that would be
Start
great.
painting a target on your roof, just like I need a new
It's so-
garage,
Oh
bro.
man, drive-thrus
help
are
me
gonna
out.
go out of
Help me
control
out.
with these airplane cars. Like, are you kidding me? Hey, Mark, are you able to look up what year is the Jetsons supposed to be in? I feel like it was set in like a time that's actually not too far from us now.
Yes.
Because
Oh my
we're getting
God.
close to Jetsons, and I honestly think the billionaires are just ramping up because they're feeling the stress of the deadline to get us to Jetsons.
Like, can you imagine, like, I just show, if I didn't have kids, okay? I don't have kids. I don't care as much about my own life. And then I just show up to your place in a fucking car airplane, and you're like, who the fuck do you think you are, George Jetson?
Well, I do have some good news. So apparently the Jetsons are set in 2062. 2062. So
Oh,
we
cool.
got
I
some
plan on
time.
being alive for that.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
We got some time. We got some time.
We got some time to figure out flying cars. What was the dude? I didn't write this joke, but I think it was Kazi on Twitter at CAZZY Kazi. He wrote like the new space race. The new space race is billionaires trying to get to space first, and he's like, and I
Yeah.
hate it.
Hilarious. In the chat, Pyra said something really funny that made me laugh out loud. She goes, wait, you buy a flying car just to go to from one airport to the other? Doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Yeah. Why don't you just take an airplane?
That's so true. That's so true.
We have
If
airplanes,
I'm-
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just want to beat
yeah.
rush hour.
I was like, so they invented airplanes again?
Yeah, I just want to beat rush hour. Isn't that the dream? You
Yeah.
ever been stuck in rush hour? You're like,
Congratulations, Wright brothers. You invented
Yeah.
a flying car. It's called a plane.
yeah, I wouldn't even get greedy with it. You know what I mean? I just want to be able to hover and then just fly like 13 feet over everyone while I finger
Yeah.
them going, ha ha.
Yeah,
This is your
you
HOV
lizard.
lane. This is your HOV lane. But yeah, man, I just think nothing good can come from this. And just wait till cyclists. I can't wait till cyclists get jealous and they make flying bikes and they can get hit in midair as well. That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah, that'll be great. I'm going to door a flying cyclist. Like, what?
That'll be
It's
fun.
going to be one of those things that's like, if it doesn't have a backup camera and a landing camera, I won't be able to drive it.
Yeah. Well, I'm out. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna let the new
It needs
generation
heated seats.
deal with it.
I'm so soft.
Yeah,
All right,
I
what's
love it.
Mark?
All right. Next story, gentlemen, is a NBA story. And we got some NBA beef going
Who's
on.
fighting here?
So, I mean, this is a story with Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley says he's disappointed in Scottie Pippen, and he's burning every bridge, but understands he's got a book
You guys are
coming
going to have
out.
to explain this more to me because, like, I know who
Okay.
the Chicago Bulls are.
Yeah. So
And I know that Michael Jordan is the second greatest NBA player of all time.
oh, no.
Wow.
I've heard of
Wow.
Scottie
Oh, no.
Pippen.
Wow.
Are there more than two guys on an NBA team?
Not now, but there used to be 5 on the court at a time,
Yeah.
and you
Oh.
never passed them the ball, though, right? They were just
Because like the Bulls are an all-time team. I know Jordan, I know Pippen. I couldn't tell you another player on the team.
Okay. So basically, the story comes out that on a pretty basic interview on the Patrick, what is it? Not the Neil Patrick, Dan Patrick show.
And yeah, he's
Scottie-
famous guy.
Dan Patrick show, Scottie Pippen's doing an interview. They're talking about Kevin Durant, who was recently ousted from the NBA playoffs. He brought his team to within the Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and he lost on the buzzer-beating shot. He basically did it all. The whole game was Brooklyn.
Was he like 50 points a game or something crazy? Like
Something
Durant was like,
ridiculous like that. But the point of the whole interview got to where Pippen was saying LeBron would have won that game. He would have included his teammates, right? He would have included his teammates, but he had to take every shot, and that's why they were shutting him down in Game 7, yada, yada, yada. They started to disagree. And then the question came to the situation in his career when Jordan was retired for a year or a year and a half. And there was a situation where Phil Jackson, greatest NBA coach of all time, mentor to many players, black and white, okay? And Scottie Pippen, famously in the documentary, that Bulls documentary that came out during COVID, there was a situation where Scottie Pippen was the best player on the Bulls. And Phil Jackson, final shot of the game, draws up a play to pass the ball to Tony Kukoc to take the shot. And Scottie Pippen refuses to leave the bench for the final play because he's upset that he wasn't chosen to take the shot.
okay.
So he's blaming Kevin Durant for not being a good teammate. Okay. He's saying he needs to include his team. He can't take every shot. And then they go on to a part where they're talking about how Scottie Pippen wasn't a good teammate and refused to leave the bench because he wasn't the one picked to take the final shot. And because of that, Phil Jackson is racist because Tony
Whoa.
Kukoc is a white player. Tony Kukoc is a European player. By the way, Tony Kukoc, a better shooter than Scottie Pippen. Okay, so
Did he hit the shot? Did he hit the shot?
yes,
Oh!
yes. He won the game.
If he missed, I would 100% be on Scotty's side. I would be on
Yeah.
Scotty's side if he missed. If he missed, I'd be on Scotty's side.
Would you be on the side so far to say that Phil Jackson is racist? Kobe Bryant, Shaquille
I don't
O'Neal-
know. I don't
Yeah.
know Phil Jackson. I don't know Scottie Pippen. The fact the guy hit the shot to me just says, well, Phil was right.
Right. But here's the thing, man. Reggie Miller, Michael Jordan, like, you know that Michael Jordan didn't always shoot the final buzzer beater. Steve Kerr hit the buzzer beater one time to win a championship for the Chicago Bulls. Does that make Michael Jordan racist because he passed the ball to Steve Kerr? I mean, I'll hear you out if you think so, but I just don't see how I would.
Yeah.
I don't
At
think
the
it's
end of the day, if you got your ring, you got your ring, right?
yeah. Well,
So why do you think do you think it was like a slip of the tongue? Do you think he honestly believes that? Or do you think maybe like the interview almost was taken out of context?
Well, Mark was about to get to that. Charles Barkley is bringing up he doesn't agree with him, but he understands because he's got a book coming out. Is that right, Mark?
That's right. That's what Charles Barkley is saying. Is that he doesn't agree with what Pippen is saying, but he sees the game. He sees the game.
Okay, you know what? A little bit of that makes sense, maybe.
Well, okay. So how bad is his financial situation that he's like, I'm going to burn every bridge in the NBA, maybe lose my job, call someone racist so that you'll buy my book? Because here's
People do crazy things for that, though.
Scottie Pippen is very upset with how he was portrayed in that documentary, and also it was like trampled down. It was thrown down a million times that Scottie Pippen signed the worst contract in NBA history. He signed a long-term deal for like under $10 million, and he was stuck in it. He couldn't get out of it, and Scottie Pippen left tens of millions of dollars on it, in the high tens.
It's funny that guys, like you said, get stuck in this deal and couldn't get out of it. That wouldn't happen in pro sports anymore because the player would literally just sit out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They'd be like, I ain't playing until we renegotiate.
Yeah. So Scottie Pippen, weird turn, weird flex, bro. But guess
Yeah,
what?
weird.
I'm not going to buy your book. I'm just going to wait for other people to buy it and then post the highlights on.
That's
on
a joke. You're gonna be lined up at Chapters. You're gonna get a signed copy. You are so
All
psyched.
right. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. All
You're
right,
like a Bulls super fan. You can't stay mad at Scottie Pippen for long.
Hey guys,
No, I can't.
I want to ask you, how many pairs of Scottie Pippens have you owned? You know?
Not many. Not many. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, he's a little bit
Scottie
bitter about that,
Pippen
too.
sounds like something I wear at Christmas.
Oh, fun fact though, his ex-wife is now dating the entire NBA right now. She's making her rounds, and he's probably a little bitter about that too.
Oh, right. I think I saw she was dating some guy that was
Like
I don't
her
know, some
fourth.
new- Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Her
Good
fourth
for her.
guy. Yeah, she's racking him up. She's trying to be a top 50 player in her own right. Hi-oh!
Whoa!
All right, next story, Mark.
All right, next story. I mean, we still have lots of show left. I just want to make sure everybody's cool with maybe staying a little bit longer than planned. I guess we
Yes.
started late, so is everybody okay with staying longer?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. I'll go a bit longer.
All
What
right,
time
all
is
right.
it? Another
It's,
time.
it's actually 9:50, so we're 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We still got 10 minutes. Let's go.
All right, we're blasting through. So next story, gentlemen, is really interesting as far as I'm concerned.
They're all very interesting, Mark. Come on.
All right. So apparently there was an event in Pennsylvania Home Depot. There was
weird.
a very, very special, yes, very weird event and an occult event even. Apparently, a bunch of people were found in the lumber section of a Home Depot in Pennsylvania going through a ritual, an exorcism ritual, in honor of the trees that had been murdered to make all the 2x4s.
Oh, I thought
that
they
were
saw the
there.
lumber prices and were like, we need to exercise the price of lumber. Right
I mean,
now.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm trying to build my deck. This much for a board foot exercise. Ugh.
Yeah.
This
I
is
thought
some
they were-
Art Bell stuff, man. Was this a real exorcism with like a Catholic priest and stuff, or what?
I don't know. There was no Catholic priest. It was very much a pagan exorcism, if you will.
Oh, a pagan exorcism. Okay.
But no, there were people dressed in full occult regalia in the lumber section of Home Depot, trying to, I guess, beg forgiveness for the crimes that had been committed against these trees.
Yeah, fair
Oh my
enough.
god. Oh my god, dude. How are we devolving so quickly as a human
I
race
just
here?
think we're such nerds. Like, and now we're like, I think we're trying to fight with each other on who can be like the most. I don't know. I don't even think righteous is the right word. Like we're trying to do stunts, like the crazier stunt than the last guy. You know?
Okay, I almost gave up on humanity when I saw vegans going to grocery stores and placing roses on the steaks in the meat section. This
Yeah.
takes a whole nother level. We need to cut trees down. Like, we need to cut some down. At least, like, people need lumber. Like, we need to build stuff. Okay, so to go to a Home Depot, can you imagine the orange smock wearing Home Depot employee who comes around the corner
man.
and sees this and is just like, "What the fuck? I'm making."
I would just turn back around and be like, I'm not dealing with this.
I'm making $18 an hour. I'm not going down there. No, Jim. Jim, I'm not going down there. I'm on
I'm
my
not
break.
going down there, Jim. Jim, I did the last one.
Yeah.
This is your turn.
I'm not, you know what? This is stupid. And like, they're wearing like robes and like doing the whole ceremony. It's like, none of you work? Like, where do you live? Do you live in a house of wood?
Who has time to do this and why? And if you're really upset about trees, there's so much more efficient ways to protect wilderness. Like, there's a million more efficient ways to protect wilderness.
How about
Totally.
go be a forest firefighter if you love wood so much, you stupid son
Why
of a
don't you
bitch?
guys raise some money and buy land and make it protected forest land? Like, there's a million ways.
Go farm wood.
You're a little bit far.
Farmwood.
Yeah, you're a little bit far downstream if you're at Home Depot.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of
If
the
you're at Home
process.
Depot, you're
It's a-
too late.
It's a little late.
The sausage has already been made. Okay, go to the slaughterhouse. You idiots! You idiots! This is.
God.
Can you imagine being the cop who has to show up? The police had to show up and be like,
Who did you say this was in Pennsylvania, of all places?
Yeah, it was in
I
Pennsylvania.
somewhat would believe it in BC or Oregon, or,
Totally.
you know what I mean, San
Totally.
Francisco. Sure, I'd believe it. But in Pennsylvania, what is wrong?
Listen, man, we got bigger issues. We got like food shortages in countries. We got heat domes popping up everywhere. The fucking ocean's on fire, and you're in a Home Depot
Doing an exorcism.
wood.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man.
And like I
I'm
said,
out.
if it was about the price of lumber or how you can't find anything in that store, dude, I'm on your side. But
No.
this is out of
And I think
All
know,
right, what do we got next? It looks like a whale
Well,
flying there. Is that
yeah,
the
so-
same story?
no, it's a different story. Actually,
Oh, right. It's a Branson.
oh yeah. So this is everybody's favorite segment. My favorite
Are we on
segment
Billionaire?
anyway.
Do we have a title screen yet for Billionaire Beat?
No,
Or what
I
we
will-
do? We gotta-
I have some- I have transitions. I was working on them today. I think hopefully next
All
week
right,
I'll have
coming
transitions.
soon, guys.
But this is my favorite segment, everybody's favorite segment, where we talk about the people that are more educated, richer, better than us in every way. Just better than us in every way.
Harder workers. They work harder than all of us.
The billionaires. It's time for Billionaire Beat. And this week we have a new challenger entering the
We have
arena,
a
gentlemen.
fun one today, though. This is a fun Billionaire Beat.
Oh, man. So we've been talking about Musk. We've been talking about Bezos. They're all trying to launch their asses into space on their own rockets. Now we have the entry of a new challenger in the arena, gentlemen. We have Mr. Richard, or Sir Richard Branson, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, he's a knight of the round table for sure.
Oh man, he's a big billionaire, and he is gonna undercut Jeff Bezos. He is actually planning on launching himself into space on July 11th, beating rival Jeff Bezos by 9 days.
I love it because it's so petty. It's so petty.
So
We've
fucking-
talked about this before. They have more money. They don't care. They're not motivated really by money, other than to be first, right? Like, the only reason they're motivated by money is as a score, right? Like, as a way to win. They're motivated by other things right now. I think winning. And I just love that Richard Branson was like, oh, when's Bezos going into space? Let's just go the day before, or 9 days before. But I mean, basically, he's just going to shoot himself up like an hour before. It's incredible.
That's
Listen,
awesome.
I just love this. This is why, like, and JR is gonna. By the way, JR just killed it about the Home Depot story. We're gonna come back and read the chat because there's some
Yep.
hilarious shit that's been making me laugh. But on this Billionaire Beat story, I just love. I wish I was a fly in the wall in Bezos's office with his people when Richard Branson comes off the top rope like a fucking WWE villain and announces that he's launching. No one even knew. No one even knew that this was happening, okay? And he finds out that Branson's launching 3 days before him. And then it turns to Bezos and he's like, Branson!
Branson! Can you imagine?
Branson!
Can you imagine our poor Home Depot worker quits at Home Depot? He's done with the exorcism, gets a job as Bezos' assistant, and it's his job to bring the story to. He's like, fuck, I don't get paid enough. $18 an hour to work for Amazon? Don't get paid enough.
Fucking
Right?
hilarious. But
All the interns have to like draw straws on who tells Jeff.
I love it. Yeah, totally. He's gonna hit me again. Yeah. So, but no, man. Not only is Branson doing it sooner, he's doing it in way more style.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
like we saw a picture of Bezos, and he looks like Lego. If Lego were to make an astronaut suit, Bezos did that. Okay?
Bezos looks like he's made out of mashed potatoes.
Yes.
And Branson looks like a space hero.
Hey,
Surrounded by porn
By
stars.
bodies, yeah.
I just threw up a
supermodels.
picture, guys. I just threw up a picture of the Branson team going up into space, and all
Look at
these.
their uniforms. I want one. I want one.
Oh man, they look fly. They look like really.
We should all be wearing these on the podcast as like a uniform.
Totally. I would wear this like every day.
Look at a ram.
They look like F1 stylish Italian like F1 race car drivers. You know.
Are those Jordan 422s that they're wearing?
I mean, it must be.
No, they're wearing Scottie Pippins. I think. They're like the blue collector one.
So, and they can walk on the moon with them. That's how
Yeah,
advanced
walk
those
on the
things are.
moon is great. Okay, now bring up the picture of Bezos here. It's this compare and contrast. Branson's all-star team, and then you see Jeff Bezos go into space, and you're like, are you taking the flying car into space? Like, what the
Well,
fuck?
I like how Branson invites like hot supermodels, and they're like, "I'm not an astronaut." He's like, "It's fine."
It's fine. You know what? The spaceship flies itself.
Bezos' spacesuit looks like Mars Attacks. Here's
Man,
the
that's
Mars Attacks.
incredible.
There's one
Yeah.
I put one up here. I mean, it's like a blue spacesuit, but the other one that I had up earlier that I'm going to search now that I'm going to bring
Yeah,
up.
you got to
is-
find the Bezos one to compare and contrast. It's
Or
him
the-
and his brother,
there's
which
the,
is awesome that he's taking his brother.
there's the SpaceX spacesuit. Let me bring
Yeah,
that.
Be like Jeff Bezos in a space outfit. It's like
I mean-
ridiculous. Is there a picture?
Yeah, there we got.
Oh my god!
I got a picture of the SpaceX spacesuit here,
Oh my
and
god.
these guys,
Like, what is happening?
they do not look like they're ready to go to an awesome adventure in space. They look like they're about to power wash the bathroom on the side of a highway.
Yeah, they look like they're going to like Burning Man, and last minute they have to get costumes, and Bezos hasn't paid his Visa bill, and he's like, "We got $47. Like, let's go."
This is the costume David Guetta wore at Summerfest 2020. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
but all right, let's go to the chat here because it's on fire. We've kind of kind of neglected it a little bit here.
Oh
Where do I
no,
go?
the chat.
No?
James,
Okay.
James,
whether-
go ahead.
Okay, so we go here. So about the Home Depot with the wood and all that stuff.
The
Pirates is-
exorcism.
if that's to drive the demons of price gouging, I'm all for it. That's fine. JR, he says the power of pine compels you. Just fucking money. JR, I'm so sorry I missed that. That would have been so much fun.
That's a beauty. Yeah, that should have come
The
up.
power of pine compels you. Fucking genius. Pyrus says, I've heard it said that the average IQ in the West has dropped 20 points since the mid 1800s. If true, it explains a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think, man. And I think
That's not a
these studies
conspiracy
prove it.
theory. That's a conspiracy fact for sure.
JR thinks they were a bunch of beavers that were just really upset about it. Wah, wah.
No, beavers love chopping down wood. No, the beavers would be. They're on our side.
And then JR says it goes from funny to sad when you realize they are serious about it and they're not just trolling. And then moving on.
This is a good point. If they're trolling, it's funny. But if they're serious, you're like we said, there's so much more efficient, better ways to protect wood, wilderness, trees, and nature. Like,
wow. James has been chirping us really hard in the chat. James Hofstetter or whatever. And he says, Jess gave me a timeout because she is a Karen. James,
Whoa.
James, I see you every
Whoa.
day, James. I am going to, I don't know what I'm going to do, but
you
I know
secretly
Oh, man.
date James?
No, James is getting a little chirpy. I think the heat's getting to him a little bit.
Oh, we should know.
Oh,
he should
so
know
Heat
better.
Dome. He's still grouchy from Heat Dome.
Yeah, he's still, yeah. By the way, Heat Dome sounds like a movie that Quentin Tarantino is going to make next year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. We need to bring Pauly Shore back for
That's
sure.
right.
You know what's funny is just like the least Karen person I know is Jess. So
Yes, exactly. That's 100% true. Thank you for saying that. And look, what do you call? Oh yeah, and then JR says, I think that might be strike two, James. JR, thanks for having her back, buddy.
James, we love having you in the chat.
Yeah, I love it. And then Jess says those suits are awesome. JR agrees with her. Everyone wants a Virgin spacesuit now.
We all
You know
want
what?
one.
Yo,
Mark, you're the producer. Make it happen. Get me a
Yes.
Virgin
Mark,
spacesuit. I want
Hey.
it right
monetize
now.
the show, Mark.
Can we-
monetize the show. We want Richard Branson Virgin Galactic spacesuits.
I mean, can we declare that now the
oh, we want our names on the side to
Oh,
Jay
yeah.
Baker. Oh
all
my
the
God.
yeah,
Are you kidding me?
all the patches, everything. But
Patches. Oh, we'll have patches. Oh my God.
can we declare that the WFT show is officially now Team Branson in the in
Oh,
the,
yeah.
in the
Yeah,
we are
Billionaire
Team
Beat
Branson
War?
on Billionaire Beat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm jumping off Elon. I think he's going to be the next one to serve like fried chicken and cornbread to his employees on Juneteenth or something and ruin his
Oh yeah,
job.
it's gonna be Elon for sure.
He's going to do some sort of step in dog shit sort of thing. Branson's in line. Branson is the hero we've needed. Look at how he's leading us with the most beautiful people to repopulate another planet.
Exactly. How Branson in charge of Mars, not Elon. Come on. Now.
Genius. Absolutely genius. What else we got in the chat here to wrap it up? So people want to see these billionaires fight in space. And
It might just happen.
JR says, make it a
Yes.
Royal Rumble.
Yes, that is so funny. Who wrote that?
James says he wants to see a boxing match. JR said, let's make
All
a
right,
Royal Rumble.
James is back in the good books with that comment.
There we
I love
go.
it.
Yeah.
Welcome back, James. Welcome back.
Welcome
Yeah,
back,
all right.
James.
What's the next story, Marky Mark?
All
Do we got
right.
any left?
We have lots left. So one
Okay,
more.
let's do one more.
One more. So this is a big story this week. Do you guys? So in France, they have this weird little bike race they do called the Tour de
Oh,
France.
this was weird. So this is a little bit older. This one.
Super
yeah,
compelling.
I mean,
We want to talk about it.
yeah. So there was this whole situation going on here where during one of the legs of the races, a fan or a person in the audience that was standing on the side of the road held out a sign that said, quote, "Go Grandpa and Grandma," and held it out so far and on TV that they knocked over a bunch of these Tour de France bicyclists and pretty much fucked up a whole leg of the race.
Are you able to hit play on the video? Is that allowed, or is that? did it just-
Let's see. I'll try to do it.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's comical, but so sad and crazy.
Well, let me
What's up?
explain something here. So this has happened several times in the Tour de France.
Really?
There's never barriers. There's never barriers except for at the very beginning and the very end of the race. You
Right.
have guys who run nude all the time, like on the hills, like you know the hill sections. So
Yeah.
they'll be buck naked, and as soon as the fucking leader comes and the camera cars are following the guy, you'll just see these dudes going full bore buck naked to get on camera.
There it is.
Right?
Oh my God! Watch this. This is
Boom.
out of control.
And
Could
if
you
can-
imagine this your whole life? You've been working for this.
Listen, this was stage one of a 52-stage race event, and she took out half of the top contenders of the race on day one.
There's no.
Sorry.
Oh, it's just gonna be. There's no. Like you can't make it right.
No. So she took out half of the top contenders. They're now but way back in the field. They're probably their whole race, everything they've worked for all season is done. And all because this girl. And if you look at this picture that Mark has up right now, she's laughing, looking to the camera with this thing. She knows that her sign is in the way of cyclists. I don't know if she realized that her cardboard sign weighed more than their bikes.
Yeah, that's crazy, but yeah.
Because that's literally what happened. These bikes are so high tech, they weigh so little because they need to go so fast that, like, the guy, like, dude, this is like if like a long distance run. You know when they have the ribbon at the end of the race, right?
Yeah.
It's like if a runner went through that ribbon and then they fucking got clotheslined by the ribbon. That's really what happened here, man. It's a piece of cardboard.
So when we brought up this story, right, so it happened a little while ago, and it was a very viral story. And then the reason we started talking about it was that they were like, police are looking for this person. I'm like, well, they're right on TV. We should be able to find them. Did we ever find them? Did we ever see that? They must have been found.
Oh yeah, so this unfortunate person who was dressed, by the way, kind of like Where's Waldo. a little bit. You know, they look like if you've ever looked at a Where's Waldo book and you have to find Where's Waldo on inside the book, they're kind of dressed like Where's Waldo. Anyway, so they fled the country for a couple of days. This lady. And got the fuck out of Dodge.
I would,
as it were, and eventually turned herself in because I think she was scared with all the repercussions. The German team was looking to sue her. It was a really serious situation.
Listen, we got some funny comments in the chat. I gotta say right now, Ty says if they allowed steroids, still this wouldn't have happened. Just saying. Hashtag remember Lance. And then Pyra says all the contenders who aren't juicing finally have a chance now. Amen to that. Amen to that. But
both those comments are awesome.
Let's face it, Pyra. They're all on steroids. Okay, they're all on EPO. The fact of the matter is their bikes weigh less than her sign, which is made of cardboard. She takes off for 2 days. And I'm just going to say this. Dressed like Where's Waldo, but she's wearing this rain slicker, this yellow rain slicker, and she has a sign that doesn't make sense. She should have been the easiest person in Europe to find, and she managed to stay away for 2 days. I'm going to tell you right now, if I commit a crime on national television, I'm pretty sure I could fucking get away with it. Because if this chick can stay away for 2 days...
They're going to go on Crime Stoppers. They're going to be like, if you have information that leads to the arrested charge, we'll give you $500. And this entire chat will be like, Justin Nickel, Justin Nickel, Justin Nickel.
Oh, yeah. By the way, if I ever get accused of a murder, everyone that I know will be like, yeah, I can see that.
You're like,
and I'm a good person.
A sex doll floating down the Fraser River. Oh, that's Justin Nickel.
He's got a temper. He might have done it.
He might have done it.
All right,
boys and girls.
Let's call it a show. Unless do we want to talk anymore? I don't know. I feel like I'm out of stories, but
no.
Let me just see if anyone says something in the chat here. James says Justin is probably happy about those bicyclists getting hurt because he hates bicyclists. You know what, James? You're absolutely right. When I drive my truck and I see cyclists on Highway 17 or Lougheed Highway or Highway 1, yes, I do sometimes fantasize about them being stuck in my wheel well, but I don't really want to see
murder them. Yeah,
who are pros. Who, you know what? This is a pro race. No one should be in their way. By the way, did you know the Tour de France is the second most watched sporting event on the planet?
Yeah, we talked about that in trivia before.
We did talk about that.
I would say the story must be conflicting for you because you hate cyclists, but you love sports and competition. So it's like
sports and competition, and I love people on steroids.
And they're all on steroids. They're all on steroids.
I love it.
All right,
guys. What do we got to say? Like and share.
Like and share
and subscribe.
Yeah, and
we're in the bio.
And we're live tonight, on a special occasion because Canada Day was yesterday. We didn't go live yesterday on Thursday, but usually we're live on Thursday, and I think the time might change.
I think we'll stick with 9 for now. My life is going to get weird.
That's right,
and we'll reevaluate when that happens.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. What time we're actually going to be live?
We'll say Thursdays at 9 through July. How about that?
Perfect. Well, that sounds good. And I posted the Discord link. If anybody wants to join us in Discord, that's where if you want to talk to us and share stories with us and all the stuff that we talk about during the show, Discord is the place to do it. So join up. If you want to become a moderator, that's a place to do it too. But otherwise, thank you, Jeremy and Justin, for an amazing show. And thank you for everyone in the audience for just giving us a great chat.
Yeah. We'll be back next week. Thank you so much for joining us. We missed some stories. No, James, we're not going to cover aliens today because we ran out of time.
We ran out of time. Yeah.
I'm going to call it right now. The best player of the game tonight was Pyra. Every episode now we're going to do player of the game.
Okay.
Pyra. JR, but Pyra took the cake today.
Yeah, we can't give it to JR every week. So
thank you to Ty Boissonant for joining us even after a heartbreaking loss. I know that took a lot out of you, man, because I'll tell you right now, if the Canucks went down 3-0 and were completely blowing their opportunity to win a Stanley Cup in front of me, I would not be going on any live streams because I would be devastated, but you're a better man than me. Even though your team is completely choking on the dick of a Stanley Cup right now, you
should shut up, Justin. You should shut up.
And I appreciate you.
This is bad karma. This is just bad karma right here.
Bad karma. And the only time I started cheering at the TV was when Montreal started hockey rioting, and I was like, what are the two most passionate hockey markets? Everyone says it. Montreal and Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
Everyone says that. Everyone says that. It's known in Canada. That Montreal is a hot hockey market. Vancouver is the other most passionate hockey market. And then all the other Canadian cities try, and that's adorable. But who has hockey riots? Montreal and Vancouver.
Yeah. All right. So on behalf of me, Jeremy, Mark,
On
Jess,
behalf of me.
JR, and everyone else in the chat, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. We love you all. Have a great night.